So we're capping our day off with Karl Wente here at the restaurant at Wente Estates. And this is a restaurant that overlooks a gorgeous golf course here, and the views are very picturesque. So let's go in and check it out. Hello, this is Loni Stark of Stark Silver Creek, and I'm here with Karl Wente and Arthur here at the Wente restaurant here. We're enjoying a nice afternoon on a Saturday.
Beautiful afternoon.
Great oysters that just came out and some of your other dishes here. So what's your philosophy around the food that's prepared here at Wente restaurants?
Well, I try to, I share the same philosophy with the food as Karl does with the winemaking, in which we try to do you know, sustainable, of course, and as local as possible. Of course, he has all estate-grown grapes producing his wine, so I try to do as much as I can off of our gardens here, and also using organic local farmers. Trying to use as much fish and shellfish off the Pacific coastline, and really just kind of celebrate the area that we're in, the breadbasket of America. So we're making our in-house sourdough and churning our own butter, and just trying to have a lot of fun with trying to be as as local, as sustainable, as kind of from the farm to the plate as much as we can. So it's a fun way to cook like that. It's very inspiring to kind of let the seasons come to you, and my menus rotate constantly. There's no real set pattern to it. Whenever something comes up like soft shell crabs or fresh porcinis or something like that, I jump on it and then I incorporate those into my menu, or actually highlight those ingredients. Whatever's peaking at the time, I try to highlight. And so yeah, we print the menus from the office so we can constantly change things and adjust it and ensure that we're giving our guests the best ingredients that we can get our hands on. It's throw the rules out the window as far as what's on the menu. Well, if it's not good, then we take it off, you know what I mean? Or we put it on.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time tasting wine together and actually hanging out playing music, but tasting wine and talking about flavors. And then Arthur's familiar with the entire portfolio of the wines, and you saw a lot of them today. We got to taste through, and it's such an incredible breadth across 35 different cultivars. But like an example of the creativity is he just did a Pinot Noir dinner where it started with a sparkling, and then went to a rosé, and then went to the nth degree. Went to a rosé that I made, 07 Pinot Noir rosé, and then the nth degree Pinot Noir, and then Burgundy, and then Oregon, and then an after dinner dessert wine as well. And so like having that interaction and dialogue, talking about, at the end of the day, we're both about creating flavors and creating mouthfeels, and how do those all work and play together.
Yeah, so I do chef's tasting menus also in the dining room, where I come out and I'll customize 4, 5, 6, 7 courses to the guests' desires, and then I pair the wines I pair the food with Karl, or with the sommelier with Karl's wines. Yeah. So I probably have a little bit more of, as far as I'm always trying to find the stuff that works with his wines and trying to showcase his wines the best that I can, and what's going to work with the food. And then we also do little competitions like the Taste of Terroir, where I have his 07 Pinot Noir, the nth degree Pinot Noir that I'm pairing with. So I'm actually in the process of creating a dish right now that will hopefully win us that competition as far as judges' best food and wine pairing. So there's some specific events that really get us to collaborate, but on a daily basis, I'm always pairing with his wines, and it makes it really, really fun to get to pair with wines from the estate, and not just pulling from all over the world, but really being specific to it, because I get an understanding of his philosophy and his winemaking, so I think it gives me a leg up,
And what are you planning on pairing with the 07 nth degree Pinot Noir?
It's a secret. No, I'm in the early stages of conceiving that dish right now. But
so he won the competition last year with the nth degree Merlot. So as a repeat, the pressure's on him to come through. So I know he's putting a lot of thought into it.
What was paired with the nth degree Merlot?
Last year I did braised duck leg with a creamy truffle vinaigrette on a shelling bean salad. So local cranberry beans with creamy truffle vinaigrette, some sautéed mushrooms, and braised duck. And it's a blind tasting and pairing, so they don't know where the food's from. They don't know what wine they're drinking. They just know that it's presented together. And then this year, a master sommelier will be a judge.
So you're the defending champion.
I am the defending champion.
And you are too. I mean, it's a pairing of both, right?
So we'll see. I plan on winning it again. So.
And I was going to say, ask him where he's from and how his influences and how he can handle the juxtaposition of his two different sort of distinct culinary experiences.
Well, I don't think I have to ask him because he just did. So whatever Karl said, how do you respond to it?
Well, people ask me a lot. Being a New Orleanian, so born and raised in New Orleans, people expect me to cook Cajun food and red beans and rice and things like this. But I take that experience, that training from New Orleans and the lifestyle and everything. It's a very soulful approach to the food and a very connected approach. It's so much part of our community down there and our history. So there's this very, all the families cook. So we have this very soulful approach, and we really season our food well. Everything's well seasoned. I think what I bring that to this kind of this French California genre, as I kind of see it, because I have a lot of French influences as well, being from Louisiana. I just try to make sure the food is, first, seasoned, and I'm sourcing the best ingredients, but then I take a lighter spin on it because I am in California, and the weather is what it is, and coastal and whatnot, and also here in wine country. So I try to take those flavors and those ideas, and then try to kind of incorporate it into the local ingredients and in the local kind of palate. And I find it makes for you get all the big bold flavors, but with a cleaner kind of approach. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain about it in philosophical terms, but I think it translates, and I work, that's kind of what I work at day to day, is to make sure that it's a unique kind of experience, and I don't know, kind of showcases a lot of where I've been from and my personality.
So, Karl, do you have any other questions for this person you talk to almost every day?
So, as you're approaching the creation of menus, and one of the cool things is that he has to shape things in his head and see the presentation, see the dish start to finish. And so he's working. In 6 weeks, we have the Taste of Terroir, and he's thinking through right now about what's going on. So the question is does he think being a musician as well helps him sort of create and shape the dishes in terms of thinking about how music comes together and how thinking about the artful creation of both a dish and a menu come together?
He played the guitar for us a little
really?
Prior, yes. So he's been talking about these jam sessions. So I guess you're a partner in crime in that.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a fun release, at the end of the night to get to go play music. Music definitely plays a strong role, and I wouldn't say maybe so directly, like the mathematical equation of the tablature, the notes, or whatever, but I think I definitely do draw inspiration for my dishes from a lot of different artistic genres, and whether and music, I have to say, would probably be the main one. I get a lot of my ideas in my car when I'm listening to music, kind of the different emotional range of the songs and stuff like that. It kind of brings me to different places where it kind of sparks the creation, kind of gives me a starting point, I would say. And then the rest of it kind of happens a little bit more technically in the kitchen, but yeah, a lot of the initial inspiration to kind of the conception of the dish definitely comes from artistic genres, and whether it be I can use nature the same way, or relationships, but I guess it always kind of draws from emotion.
We hope you've been in good relationships,
Well, I just think good artists draw on emotion, and I try to use emotion and try to use whatever kind of art forms to kind of help spark that. So.
Great.
Answer your question?
I just realized I'm sitting in between a winemaker and executive chef, and they both play music. I think I'm in good company. I mean, what else do you need? Wine, music, good food.
Good food, good wine, good people, good music. Life's pretty good.
Yes. So this is Loni Stark of Stark Silver Creek, hoping your next trip to Wente, I guess, is as fortunate as ours.
It's true.